Samantha Andretti sits inside a van, quietly putting on lipstick while looking at her reflection in a small mirror. The moment feels ordinary, but it ends suddenly. The van door swings open, and before Samantha can react, someone grabs her and drags her inside. The scene cuts off there. She is kidnapped. The story then moves to a hospital. Samantha is lying in a bed, weak and bandaged. She slowly wakes up, confused and disoriented. Dr. Green enters the room. He introduces himself as a profiler, someone who studies victims' minds to understand the clues behind their trauma. He speaks to Samantha in a calm voice, telling her that everything is all right and she is safe now. But Samantha, still terrified and unstable, stares at her reflection in a mirror and whispers, "Is this the game?" Dr. Green looks confused. He tells her he doesn't understand what she means and reminds her who he is. He explains that he is there to help her remember what happened. He also tells her that when she was kidnapped, she was given a very powerful drug. That is why she is confused, frightened, and unable to trust what she sees. The other doctors, he says, are giving her medicine to help bring her memory back. Trying to comfort her, he calls Samantha a lucky girl, saying that despite everything, she only lost her leg. But Samantha cannot accept his words. She keeps repeating that this is a game, as if she still feels trapped in the nightmare of her kidnapping. Dr. Green gently asks her if she knows where she is right now. Samantha, trembling, replies that she is in the Labyrinth. She reminds him again that she was kidnapped, and then asks him her own name as if she no longer trusts her memory. Dr. Green tells her that her name is Samantha Andretti, and confirms that she was kidnapped while she was on her way to school. He explains that she was found the previous night by a patrol car, wandering and in a state of shock. He also tells her that no one knows whether her kidnapper released her or she escaped on her own. Lowering his voice, Dr. Green tells her that the police are listening to them through the mirror. Samantha immediately responds that mirrors are forbidden in the Labyrinth. This small detail unsettles Dr. Green, but he continues, asking Samantha to tell him everything she remembers. He explains that the more she shares about her kidnapper, the sooner they can catch the monster who tortured her, so that no other girl ever suffers the same fate. He then tells Samantha the reason there were no mirrors in the Labyrinth. According to him, the kidnapper did not want Samantha to know how much time was passing. Samantha looks confused until Dr. Green reveals the truth. She was kidnapped 15 years ago. He shows her a picture of herself as a young girl before her abduction. Now she is an adult, grown up, and the shock hits her even harder. Meanwhile, another character enters the story, Bruno Genko, a private investigator suffering from a terminal illness. Many years earlier, Samantha's parents hired Genko to find their missing daughter, but he failed. The guilt has haunted him ever since. When Genko hears the news of Samantha's sudden reappearance, he feels something awaken inside him. Even though he is dying, he sees her return as his last chance to redeem himself. He decides to investigate her case again, driven by guilt, duty, and maybe even a chance to prove to himself that his life was not meaningless. Genko meets a woman named Linda, who tells him that Dr. Green, a profiler, is working with Samantha. She calls Dr. Green a specialist. When Genko asks how the police found Samantha after all these years, Linda tells him something surprising. The patrol officers didn't find her by accident. Someone called the police anonymously and told them where she was. Later, Genko goes to rest and Linda checks the pockets of his jacket. She finds several medical reports. The documents reveal that Genko is terminally ill. Shocked and emotional, Linda confronts him about the reports. Genko tells her that he has a heart infection, and neither he nor the doctors know how he got it. He says that it has been 2 months since he found out about his condition. He seems calm, almost accepting of his fate. Genko flashes back to the moment Samantha's parents gave him money to find their missing daughter. The memory weighs heavily on him. He tells Linda that when he heard about Samantha being found the previous night, he felt that he had been given another chance, maybe his last, to do something meaningful. Linda, confused, asks him why he cares so much about Samantha Andretti. She knows Genko, and caring for people is not something he usually does. His answer reveals the weight of his guilt. Back at the hospital, Dr. Green continues working with Samantha. He tells her that she will have to return to the Labyrinth in her mind, but this time he will be with her. She won't be alone. He asks what her first memory inside the Labyrinth was. Samantha tells him that the walls were gray, or maybe another color, because they kept changing. She describes entering a very strange building. It was deep, black, and completely dark. She didn't see any entrance or exit. and she couldn't understand how she had arrived there. When Dr. Green asks whether she was alone, Samantha says no. She explains that when she first woke up in that place, she saw a cube beside her. She doesn't know who placed it there or why. She also says that the cube always frightened her, even though she was starving. Samantha explains that inside the cube was a game. When she solved the game, a door labeled N2R8 opened. Behind it, she found food, which she ate because she was desperate. She tells Dr. Green that she had to earn her food and even her bed. The game became harder and harder with every level, more difficult puzzles, more punishment, more torture with food, water, and clothing. Samantha tells him that she eventually realized something important. If she kept completing the cube's challenges, the labyrinth would let her go. Meanwhile, Genko shows up at the police station, demanding to take charge of Samantha's case. The police reject him. They remind him that the kidnapping happened 15 years ago. Samantha's parents are dead. And back then he even told them they were wasting their money. They tell him Samantha has been found and no one needs him anymore. But Genko pushes back. He insists he wants to hear the anonymous phone call. The police finally play it for him. In the recording, an unknown man tells emergency services that he is with a woman whose leg is injured and that she is naked and needs help. Police told Genko they still hadn't located the man who made the emergency call because he had disguised his voice and used a stolen phone. Genko eventually found him, the same witness who had seen Samantha unconscious and naked before fleeing. The man admitted he had stayed hidden until police arrived and saw a figure watching them from the woods. He couldn't describe the figure clearly. It looked like a man with a rabbit's head and red, heart-shaped eyes. Genko continued his investigation at a missing person bureau called Limbo, where Simon uncovered a case that matched the description. Robin Basso, a boy who vanished in 1983 and reappeared in shock 62 hours later. After his parents abandoned him, Robin was placed in foster care, where a supervisor later reported finding a rabbit graveyard. Robin had been burying rabbits alive. Genko visited the old foster home, now privately owned. The woman there claimed Robin and Samantha were children of the dark, damaged by prolonged confinement. She showed Genko a disturbing bunny book, then suddenly attacked him. When he regained consciousness, he glimpsed a horrifying rabbit-like mask before finding the woman dead. Genko tricked the masked figure and escaped. Elsewhere, Samantha told Dr. Green she remembered another woman imprisoned behind a door in the labyrinth. Crying in the dark, Samantha remembered using a code to open the door. Inside, she saw a young girl crying. Samantha tried to comfort her, but the girl said she knew everything, and that she herself was the game Samantha had to play. Suddenly, she pulled out a knife and tried to stab Samantha. Samantha quickly shut the door again. The room number was 2323. The woman behind the door continued begging for Samantha to let her out, sometimes asking for food, sometimes cursing her. Eventually, Samantha realized the girl had starved to death. Genko went to the police and explained everything about the woman, Robin Basso, and his own kidnapping. He insisted Robin had kidnapped Samantha Andretti, but the police didn't believe him, saying Robin suffered from psychological trauma and someone like him wouldn't harm others. As Genko was about to leave, he saw Simon running out in panic. Genko noticed the missing woman's daughter standing alone in a corner, the same way Samantha's daughter had once stood before her mother disappeared. This made Genko even more determined to continue his investigation. Genko went to see his painter friend and asked him to study Robin's comic book. The friend discovered a disturbing secret. The comic seemed normal at first, but when placed in front of a mirror, it turned into a demonic worshipping comic. Late that night, Genko received a frightening email. It showed Linda tied up, and behind her was the reflection of a rabbit figure. Robin had tracked Linda using Genko's phone, which he had accidentally left at the foster home. Genko rushed to Linda's house and found her brutally murdered, with his phone placed on the bed. While regretting his mistake, he heard a strange sound coming from the bathroom. Inside, he saw a man wearing the rabbit mask. When Genko demanded he remove it, the man took it off. He had a knife wound in his abdomen. He told Genko he was a dentist and that someone had broken into his home, kidnapped his family, and forced him to come here wearing the rabbit mask. Then he fainted. Later, Samantha told Genko that finding a kitten in her bed had made her darkest days a little easier. Dr. Green argued that the kidnapper only wanted to torture her, so how could he have given her a cat? Samantha then showed scratches on her abdomen that looked like surgical marks. Dr. Green explained that when she was kidnapped, she was a student with no boyfriend. So the child she remembered must have been born after she was violated in the maze. Samantha realized the cat she remembered wasn't a cat at all. It was her own child. When she asked about her baby, Dr. Green said the police had only found Samantha in the swamp. Police questioned the dentist's wife, who said their gardener always seemed strange, stared too much, and had a red scar on his face. He also had a close relationship with the dentist's daughter. Genko suspected the gardener was Robin and believed he wore the rabbit headband to hide his scar. Police created a sketch and issued a wanted notice. Meanwhile, the dentist's daughter gave Genko a painting and smiled strangely. Genko found photos of Robin and guessed his scar came from his disappearance. He visited the church Robin used to attend. The new pastor claimed he didn't know Robin, but under his guidance, Genko found old photos in the church's antique storage. When Genko tried leaving, the pastor told him that if he wanted answers, he should ask the rabbit, the old bishop who lived in the basement and was now hospitalized. Genko searched the basement and realized the bishop had a connection to Robin. At the hospital, the bishop admitted he too had been kidnapped as a child by someone in a rabbit mask. He was rescued but never recovered mentally. He had kidnapped Robin and done the same thing to him. The rabbit comic had also come from him. Now Robin had become another rabbit kidnapper, continuing the cycle of dragging people into darkness. Genko showed him a photo of Robin with his friend. The bishop identified the friend as a Y. Later at home, Genko was attacked by someone with a black birthmark on his face. This was the gardener Awai. Genko escaped and noticed a painting signed by the dentist's daughter, showing a family of 4 with Robin. But the father was missing. The father figure was actually a rabbit-masked person. Genko realized the dentist was the real rabbit kidnapper, and a Y worked for him as the gardener. Genko realized Robin had hurt himself on purpose to get admitted into the same hospital as Samantha. She was his target. Dr. Green gave Samantha a sandwich, which reminded her of receiving pizza in the Labyrinth. Robin entered a woman's ward but was caught because of Genko's warning. He was arrested. Genko later died in the hospital due to his illness. Police went to check on Samantha. Dr. Green explained that her symptoms were hard to cure. He introduced himself again as Green and left the room. Suddenly, the phone next to Samantha rang. The voice on the other end asked for her address to deliver the pizza. Chills ran through her body. She got up and walked out of the ward. Police looked at the Samantha lying in the hospital bed and expressed sympathy. But the camera revealed it wasn't the real female lead. It was the original Samantha, the female lead. Samantha stepped into the hallway and saw darkness, the same darkness as the Labyrinth. She realized everything Dr. Green had told her was fake. This was another game created by the kidnappers. She saw Green in the hallway wearing headphones, recording, with speakers and equipment set up to fool her. A map of the Labyrinth was hanging on the wall. She memorized the exit and returned to the ward. Green understood she had discovered the truth. He revealed she hadn't been kidnapped for 15 years. She was taken only a year after Samantha was rescued. Her leg injury was fake, and he had used drugs to manipulate her memory. This game had been repeated over and over. The woman kicked Green and knocked him out. She used the map's memory to find the exit and cried in relief when she escaped. She remembered she was actually the missing police partner from the bureau, and she had a child named Alice. She also remembered she had discovered that Green was the kidnapper before he caught her. And to not get caught in a bad video, I recommend you just stay on this channel and check out my other recaps on the right next. Subscribe and drop a like. If you enjoyed your stay so far, grab your popcorn, enjoy yourself, and see you soon.